Hey guys, welcome to ARTV, Beyond the Reviews. Time to kick it back for Throwback Thursdays. We do it on the couch on Thursdays because it's a chill time to discuss and review some older albums. Today I've got one for you. It's one that's turning 10 years old, which is, as always, mind-blowing to me because it makes me feel old as shit. Jimmy Eat World's 5th studio album titled Futures. Lead single, Pain, a couple of other singles on that record. Work was another one, but none of the other singles really saw the success of Pain. Pain, as well as the song The Middle, which is the band's pretty much signature song, if you will. That's kind of what got me into these guys. And of course, seeing the film Riding in Vans with Boys. Absolute insanity. I just watched it again the other day. This is one of I think it actually is the first concert DVD or behind the scenes documentary type thing I ever saw. My cousin had it. She was a huge Blink-182 fan. That's how I found out about Jimmy Eat World. Started listening to them. Got the record Futures when I was probably 15, I would say. A couple of years after it came out, after its initial release in October of 2004. I think that this whole album is just an example of Jimmy Eat World. I've listened to their back catalog now, but at the initial time of me listening to this, I was a bit, a little bit confused by it just because at the time I didn't really understand it. There were some more mature themes throughout this record, and listening to it now, it's something that I really, really connect with. It's something that now even is a bigger part of my life than it was 10 years ago, and that's something that's strange. A lot of records that I really love I connected with right off the bat, but with Futures there's so many emo overtones, and not emo as in cut my wrist and black my eyes. It's emo as in emotionally in check rock music. Alternative rock, I guess, would be the main thing that applies to this, but they really go all over the spectrum here on this one. Pain, Work, Just Tonight, The World You Love, all killer alternative rock cuts that just really have strong lyrical content. I think that obviously Jim, who the band was clearly named after, their lead singer Jim Adkins, has a very strong mind when it comes to writing songs. And while I think that that's trailed off a bit in recent years, while they still are putting out decent records, I thought Damage was a little bit dull as a whole. I think that his penmanship has always been pretty much on point, and kind of with Bleed American and even Futures, I think that they were kind of at the peak of their career right there, making the best albums they ever made. Take the song Drugs for Me, for example. It's probably one of my top 3 on this record. It's more of a ballad style song. It's definitely one of the slower ones, but the lyrical message on it is just incredible. Talking about drug addiction in a song is not an easy thing to do. He sings the line, you promise you're done, but I can't tell you from the drugs. It's really kind of a very sad song to hear, and still to this day, like I said, one of my favorites on the record, just because it really tugs at the heartstrings. Another one that does that for me is the track Polaris that follows it. It's one that is more of a build-up track. It definitely has a lot of passion and fire in it. The riffs start breaking out in the middle of this track, and while it still is very somber lyrically, I would say, it's something that definitely sees the band breaking out more. And then we get into 2 of my other favorite cuts, Nothing Wrong and Night Drive. Night Drive especially, probably my overall favorite on the record. Night Drive is just a reminder that it's okay to need to escape from reality sometimes and just go, escape. Even if you're running on fumes on your car, just get out of town and keep your head level. Sometimes you need to do that in life. Sometimes it's something you need to do in order to keep yourself happy, and they were totally on point with the way this song was written. I like the fact that it's more laid back in style. It's not necessarily attacking on the guitars or the drums and the bass or anything like that, but it still comes off as a very powerful track in my opinion. Of course, the single Pain is a favorite of mine. It's my second favorite, and in my opinion, the second best track on this record. It's catchy, it's got a really strong and catchy chorus, but at the same time it's something like, why am I singing along to this? I'm singing along to something that this man clearly wrote from a bad point in his life, but at the same time it's very relatable for a lot of people. And I think that it's something that I was connecting with at the time. That's what got me into this band, really into them. This was the first song I ever loved by them. It's something that I still hold on to this day. I actually made a pretty embarrassing lip sync video to it a few years ago. If you want to see that, link in the description, because I know some of you guys have probably already seen it anyways. We close it out with 23, epic closer. 7-minute long song, but it doesn't feel it. Really, it doesn't drag its feet at all. It's something that I miss. You know, this time in music, people were throwing amazing album closers on there, like Numb off of Meteora. You had What's Her Name off of American Idiot. It's just something that these days I feel like, you know, albums just don't come together as a whole anymore. They don't have necessarily an obvious start and an obvious end. It's something that that point in music was doing so incredibly well. I also really enjoy the bonus track Gin. It's a lot different from the rest of the record. I think that's why it didn't make the cut for the standard edition of this record, but it's a really fun, upbeat, pop, rock, alternative, pop punk jam that's kind of, like I said, a little bit more in your face, a little bit more intense musically. It's really fun though. Bright guitars, bright vocal melodies on here. It's definitely one that you don't want to miss. Overall, this is my favorite Jimmy Eat World record. 5 out of 5 for me. What do you guys think? Are you Jimmy Eat World fans? And can you believe that this album is turning 10 years old? Let me know your thoughts about Futures in the comment section down below. Let me know, what other throwback reviews do you want to see me do? I'm open, you know? I've got a few in mind that I want to do. You know, I'll keep it to myself for now, but you guys shall see in the coming weeks. I'm going to try and do Throwback Thursdays most weeks because you guys seem to enjoy those. I've got a lot of reviews, of course, classic reviews as well as the new reviews like Jack White, what have you, on the way. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on this video, and check out my Twitter and Facebook. All the links are in the description down below. Thanks for watching ARTV, and I will see you guys very soon.